Well, it's official, everybody. Not only is Arkansas the worst team in the SEC, they are easily the worst team in the SEC after this 54-point allowing, 640-yard surrendering, 24-point scoring, 285-yard producing, 2 of 12 third down converting, 19-minute and 51-second possessing, wrong QB starting, 3-time fumbling, pick 6 throwing, blowout loss to the second worst team in the SEC right here in beautiful Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Mississippi State, you can lose 4 straight SEC games. You can sell all the hope you want for next year. But to be the worst, you got to lose the worst. And Arkansas is the worst. Whew. Pig suey. I thought it was interesting in the press box, a Mississippi State beat writer said, looked down at all the fans that were still here in attendance in the fourth quarter and said, man, these fans must really love their Hogs. And they do. A lot more fans than you would expect at most SEC venues in a loss like this to a team like that. Mississippi State has beaten Arkansas, what is it, 106 to 30? Is that right? 106 to 30 in the last 2 years. This was a bad Mississippi State team. And I mean, people can say that, you know, we're not asking the tough questions and stuff and press conference stuff, but the fact of the matter is Chad doesn't answer questions. He doesn't answer. You know, it's very coach speak. It takes a lot of practice to be that good at it. But, you know, when you look at this team, the things that they've done over the years or over this season, you know, they had a 4-point loss to Texas A&M, a 4-point loss to to Kentucky. You know, some close losses here and there. And then to lose to Auburn the way they did and Alabama, and maybe that's expected. Those teams are so much better than Arkansas. But Mississippi State's not. Mississippi State's not that much better. Arkansas has better personnel, and they're not putting people in the right position to make plays and giving Arkansas the best opportunities to win games. They're just not. The wrong quarterback starting. I mean, to see what KJ Jefferson came out there and did, you know, I don't blame them for not playing him as much early on, but eventually, you know, after they get some things corrected with him, getting more comfortable in the offense, maybe it's mid-season or something, but that's your quarterback right there. And if it's not him, it's John Stephen. Ben Hicks and Nick Starkel have had plenty of opportunities. I mean, we're done seeing Nick Starkel, I believe, and we may be done seeing Ben Hicks, but it's taken all the way to this. I mean, to see KJ come in and what did he have, a 22-yard run right off the bat, had a nice throw, 32-yard catch by Traylon Burks, his only catch of the day, which, again, not enough targets for him. And he had to make a play to get the ball, I get it, but at least he put a playmaker in position to make a play, and then he puts it in himself 5 yards out for a touchdown. And that's really the only time we got to see him. Amonte Spivey fumbled after that, so we didn't get to see that next possession. And Mississippi State, I mean, last year they put an extra one on top for Arkansas to make it 52-6. This time they actually had a little mercy and put a knee down and took the win. But they were just kind of clowning out there towards the end. I mean, it was just kind of a joke. This defense is absolutely atrocious and has no excuse. I mean, the offense, they've got, you know, quarterback issues. They've got offensive line issues. I get the offensive line issues. Both tackles are out. You know, you got Shane Clennon starting, who hasn't really played that much. Kirby Adcock was the backup left guard. Austin Cass out. You've got a lot of injuries up front on the offensive line. So maybe there are some reasons for why they're the way they are. They're bad reasons, but there are reasons. They're bad. But for defense, I mean, they've stayed pretty healthy, but just like I kind of predicted, and I wasn't right on everything I predicted, said 6 wins this season, more likely to win 5 than 7, so I wasn't right on everything, obviously, but I wasn't like blowing a bunch of smoke up people, trying to get them to buy in or something like some people have said. But this defense has done exactly what I thought they would do, and that's slowly get worse and worse, and they've stayed pretty healthy overall. No excuse to give up 460 yards, is that right? It's something like that, 400 something. Some ridiculous number of rushing yards that they allowed. It's a good look at the outside part of the stadium. North end zone, the pit. It's a shame that this stadium, this expansion and everything, we still haven't seen a full crowd. And a 3 o'clock game, very low attended. for a 3 o'clock game. But you'd expect that, I mean, the way Arkansas has played this year. And I'll tell you what, it's hard to think about what else they have to really play for this year. I mean, aside from like getting players ready for next year, aside from preventing Ty Story to march in here with the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers and upset Arkansas. I don't even know if it'll be an upset. They may be favored, who knows. But that might be the final humiliation for this program. But back to this defense, man, there is no name me another $1.5 million coordinator that's producing results like John Chavis has. Most of the time, guys that are making $1.5 million aren't the worst defense in their league. And Arkansas is. I mean, we can sit here and argue who's worse, Arkansas or Vanderbilt on defense. What kind of argument is that to have? I mean, and you kind of felt it. I mean, right from the start, you just kind of felt it. These guys aren't playing hard. They may think they are. Chad keeps saying they're not letting go of the rope. We're just going to do what we always do. Come back in and grind. Gut check time. Whatever, man. The sad thing is, I mean, I actually like Chad. I like some of the things that they do in terms of marketing. I'm not a big fan of the club dub. Definitely don't like losing every single week. But I like what they do as far as recruiting goes and marketing the program. But I don't know if there's any recovering from this, guys. I don't know how you can really salvage this. Somebody's creeping up on me. U-Haul. I'm interested to see what you guys think, but I think I pretty much have a pretty solid idea of what Razorback Nation thinks about everything going on with Razorback football. And mainly it has to do with when's the basketball season start. And that's Rice on Tuesday, 7 o'clock game. I mean, for the first time, I'm really disappointed that I have to cover football. I mean, who gets to have the job that I have? Covering football, Razorback football, the job that I want. I've had opportunities to do other things in media, but this is the team I want to cover. This is a state that I've always lived in most of my life, 40 years. It just sucks, man. It really does. I mean, people are apathetic. People are disappointed. I'm mad about the state of this program. I think you should probably be mad as well. 8 years. Not all on Chad Morris? No, it's not. Definitely not on Hunter Yurachek, John Chavis. Not all on those guys. It takes a lot of hard damn work to get the program as bad as it is right now. A lot of work. It takes a lot of people. Here I am repeating myself, but geez, man, I don't know what else to say about this program. They play the wrong players. They don't put themselves in a good position. Every week feels like a new experiment. And then you start Ben Hicks, which we knew that was coming. We knew they were going to start Ben Hicks. But it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense moving forward now that you are actually mathematically. And I get, as a coach, you're thinking, we got 4 games. We can come out and win these 4 games. I mean, which is, you're not going to beat LSU, obviously, no matter what happens. But now that you're mathematically eliminated, it's KJ time. KJ time, KJ time, KJ time. Everybody say it with me 3 times. Use it in a sentence. Remember it. KJ Jefferson time. Or John Stephen. I mean, John Stephen did some good things too. I wouldn't mind seeing John Stephen. And I had some questions about, can he drive the ball down the field? Can he utilize all the field? I thought he threw a beautiful fade pass in the corner of the end zone to Michael Woods. But it's like, I don't know, man. I think about the quarterback situation, and it's like, you lost all 3 quarterbacks from last year, probably pushed a couple out. Connor Nolan decides he's going to play baseball. Connor Nolan might have started several games for him this season. Things might have been totally different on the outset. I'm sure he's looking, okay, I can go to the draft early. I didn't think I could do that, so I'm going to stick with baseball. They're bringing in grad transfers at quarterback. It's not going to be a good situation for me. I mean, this whole quarterback deal just seems so mishandled at this point. And then you got Ty Story coming in here next week. I mean, that's the biggest game. That might be the biggest game of Chad Morris's career. It really might, just the way that has unfolded. And it's almost poetic. It is almost poetic in the darkest David Allan Coe style of poetry there is out there. To have two quarterbacks you kind of push out, you bring two other guys in who are not producing. I mean, they're probably, after today, Nick Starkel and Ben Hicks combined are probably worse than what Cole Kelly and Ty Story were last year. Never would have thought that going in. But that's what it is. That's where they are now. Anyway, I'm super happy right now. Love my job. I do love my job. I know it could be a lot worse. I love this state, this program, and I don't have a problem saying it. Just disappointing. It's a tough place to be in. But I'll say this, everybody. Anybody who tells you that Arkansas can never recover is full of it. Because you look across the country, there are teams that can recover. We were talking about Ohio State getting penalized, all those sanctions back in 2011. Oh, they'll never recover. They're going to cripple them. The NCAA has crippled Ohio State. No. 3 years later, they win a national championship. Baylor ought to get a death penalty. No. They're undefeated right now. Penn State ought to get a death penalty. No. Undefeated right now. I mean, there are a lot of examples, but I'll tell you this. There are 8 programs that hired Power 5 coaches. 8 programs hired Power 5 coaches in December of 2017, including Arkansas. And all 7 of those other teams would march right into Fayetteville in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, and they would beat Arkansas. Right now, they would all do it. Every one of them. That's the truth. All right, everybody. I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you tuning in. I want to say this. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I know it's rough right now, but basketball season is starting up. There's still recruiting stuff. There's still some more to play, and we're going to keep on covering this football team, even though it's very frustrating. Right now at HawgSports, you get CBS All Access, which is a $100 value, $99 value for free, as long as you have a HawgSports subscription, which is like $99 a year. You can pay monthly or annually. So that's a good opportunity to get the inside information that you've been looking for if you're an avid Razorback fan. But if you're not, you can always sign up for our newsletter, get all the free stuff, all the stuff that has happened. But if you want to know what is going to happen, Danny West recruiting inside information, all of that good stuff, then you want to sign up at HawgSports.com. Thanks everybody for joining me. That's all I got. Appreciate it. This has been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com. We'll catch you on Monday.